Quick reminder before we get this video started that I'm doing an $8 million Megalodon shark card giveaway on my Twitter account. I'll leave a link to that in the description. I'll be selecting the winner on Monday, the day before the Diamond Casino and Resort update arrives. And one of you guys is going to be walking away $8 million richer, more prepared for the update, and able to buy all the new content. So check out that in the description. But anyways, let's get today's video started. And what we're going to be talking about is an updated version of how much money I believe you're going to need to be able to buy everything in this DLC. So when Rockstar first announced that the Diamond Casino and Resort was going to be coming out in late June, I made a video giving my best estimation of how things were going to work, the vehicles and what we would have to buy at the casino. Well, now we have a lot more information, screenshots, trailers, an entire dedicated website to the Diamond Casino and Resort. So this gives us a better idea on what we're going to have to purchase and what the likely cost is going to be. So let's start with what we're going to have to buy at the Diamond Casino and Resort. So if you want to enter the casino and resort and not have to pay for anything, you can totally do that. Rockstar have confirmed that there is a regular membership called the Casino and Resort membership, which will allow you to go inside, participate in all of the gambling games. You can go have a drink at the bar. You basically just hang about, participate, enjoy the resort. That is free. However, there is a VIP membership side to the Diamond that requires you to buy a Master Penthouse. So that's the first thing that we're going to have to buy. Now, some of you guys won't even have to purchase that. As I mentioned the other day, if you have Twitch Prime and you have connected your Rockstar Games Social Club account, if you claimed that reward by yesterday, you're going to get that Master Penthouse for free. So some of you guys won't even have to pay for that at all. But in order to enjoy the VIP status of the casino, you're going to have to purchase the Master Penthouse. Now, if I had to take a guess, I'm going to assume that this is going to be within the range of $1 million to $2 million just to get access to the penthouse. That sort of falls in line with the other types of properties we've seen in game, whether that be hangars or nightclubs more recently or bunkers. That's sort of the price that Rockstar have set just for buying like the land or the building. It's typically between $1 to $2 million. So that's how much I think the Master Penthouse is going to be. Now, that is just the first step. Rockstar have confirmed a ton of different add-ons that are going to be included in the penthouses, and this might not even be all of them. So I don't know if these are going to be things that we have to purchase. It sounds like some of them will be required to be purchased. Some sound like it might come with the penthouses. So this is everything that Rockstar have mentioned so far. They state that the penthouses will come with a master bedroom. It'll also come with a spare bedroom. Now, I personally think that those two rooms will come by default. I mean, you have to have something in the penthouse when you buy it. It's not all going to be add-ons. But now I think the rest of these areas that I'm going to mention will be add-ons. The first is the spa room. This seems completely optional, and because of that, I think it's something that we're going to ultimately have to purchase. That's the first thing. The next is the bar and party area. Again, this seems like an optional area that you would have to purchase. It's going to include the arcade games. It looks like we're going to be able to add an office to our Master Penthouse as well. That'll come with a small desk and a computer where we can likely take care of some of our other business operations. I'm not sure how that's exactly going to work. I think it's just going to be like the Terabyte, but instead it'll be in the form of the Master Penthouse office. There's also going to be the Penthouse Garage, which we know is going to be able to store 10 cars at a minimum. How many floors there are, we're not too sure. Now, one of the most interesting things that they mentioned is the lounge area. They specifically state that the lounge area allows you to add 5 other extensions to your suite. Now, what those extensions are, I'm not sure. Maybe it's the things we've mentioned, like the bar and party area and the spa room. One of the things they confirm for sure is the media room. That's going to be an add-on. And we know that an artwork room is going to be an add-on too. So that's really the only unknown here is I'm not sure what parts of the Master Penthouse you get just by buying access to it. Like, do you get a main room, master bedroom, and spare bedroom, and then everything else you have to add on? If so, there's about 5 or 6 or 7 add-ons that you could choose to introduce. And how much each one of those cost is an unknown. They could be $1 million each. They could be $500,000 each. I think the total cost of this master penthouse could very easily range from $1 to $2 million all the way up to $6, $7, $8 million when it's all said and done if you decide to buy everything. And that doesn't even include the customization that we're going to be able to do to our master penthouse. Rockstar have confirmed that these penthouses are completely customizable, not only with the style that we want in terms of color schemes and decorations, but also in the casino store, we're going to be able to purchase artwork and decorations that can be put throughout our apartment. The examples they gave us are the yellow dog with cone, Auntie Poppy, My Gold Collection, and the Silver Watcher. So that's just a handful of the examples that we'll be able to do to customize those master penthouses. So that right there, when it's all said and done, I could very easily see being upwards of a $10 million investment. Now, staying within the walls of the Diamond Casino and Resort, we have the casino store. Now, you're not required to buy everything at the casino store, but it looks like there is going to be some cool items there. Rockstar said that there will be exclusive fashion. There's going to be things that you can't buy anywhere else. They said our in-house store offers a rotating selection of curated items that can only be purchased with chips. So I can't really put a money amount on this because you're going to have chips in order to get this. And in order to get chips, you're going to have to obviously do the gambling modes, which we know are going to be blackjack and 3-card poker and the lucky wheel and the slot machines and the inside track. So that's why it's also difficult to put a dollar amount or a dollar figure on how much you're going to need here, is because Rockstar has introduced a completely new currency, chips. And we don't really know what that value is going to be. We know the value of the chips, but we don't know if they're going to be a 1-to-1 dollar to chip ratio or if there's going to be some sort of difference. So that's something to keep in mind right there. And that is probably everything that you can do to spend your money on things at the casino. Everything else, like playing the games and spinning the lucky wheel, seems to be free for the most part. And things like the valet and the concierge and everything else seems to be free for the most part for you to enjoy. Now let's talk about the next big thing in this update, and that is going to be vehicles. So we know that there are 5 confirmed vehicles so far. There's the Truffaut Thrax supercar. There is the Progen McLaren Senna supercar. You've got the new Vicer vehicle, which is based off of the Spiker C8. You've then got another Obey vehicle, which we think is going to be an Audi coupe car. And then we have an Ocelot vehicle, which is based off of the Lotus 211 and 311. If you're interested in what those vehicles look like in GTA 5, I'll leave a link to a video I did earlier today in the description, so you can check that out if you want. So we know that the theme of this update is going to be highly centered around sports cars, supercars, high-end luxury vehicles. So with that in mind, we can basically just take a look at the average price of most supercars and sports cars in game, and that'll give you a good idea of how much these things are going to cost. I mean, every supercar in game, for the most part, is over $1 million, is usually between $1 and $3 million. Most sports cars in this game hover around the $1 million mark. Other luxury vehicles that we've seen in the past are in the high hundreds of thousands, low $1 million mark. So it wouldn't be surprising that if each vehicle is basically between $1 to $3 million, especially when you add customization to everything. You know, changing the paint jobs, adding liveries, upgrading the vehicles for the engine, brakes, armor, transmission, stuff like that. So let's just, for the sake of making easy math, say that every vehicle is going to be between $1 and $3 million. Well, if there's going to be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 vehicles in this update, you can just sort of start to do the math right there, that it could be 20, 40, 60 million dollars that you're going to need just on vehicles alone to be able to buy and customize them. Now, not every vehicle is going to be $1 million. Not every vehicle is going to be $3 million, but that should give you a good idea of just how quickly you might have to burn through some of your cash. Now, the final 2 things that I could see Rockstar adding in this update, although we haven't seen a lot of evidence of it so far, and that is new clothing and new weapons. So I'm almost confident there's going to be new clothing. We just haven't seen a lot of it shown off in the trailers and screenshots, and I'm almost confident that Rockstar is doing that on purpose, trying to more keep it a secret until the update actually arrives. But there's going to be new clothing. Let's just say you could spend $1 million on clothing. It might be more, but let's just say $1 million. I'm sure there's going to be fancy suits and, casino-esque outfits, which is likely to be more expensive than normal. And then new weapons. I'm hoping that Rockstar adds some new weapons into the game, although that doesn't seem to be the theme of this update. Like, at least from what we've seen in the screenshots and trailers and websites, like, I haven't seen a single weaponized vehicle. So maybe Rockstar is kind of going in a different direction with this update that isn't necessarily focused on, weapons and super militarized vehicles, which I actually think would be a nice change of pace. But if there are new weapons in the game, they're not going to be very expensive. I'd say like $500,000 at the max. And that's if they're like on the fancy level, like what we saw in the Arena War weapons with the alien guns. But I doubt that it will even be that much. And everything else that I haven't mentioned, I honestly think is going to be free. I mean, it's going to be free to participate in the business aspect once you buy that Master Penthouse. Most of the things that you can do inside of the Diamond Casino and Resort will be free. We didn't see anything else shown off on the newswire, the trailer, or the screenshots in the website that indicated anything else would be available to purchase. So I really do think that's going to be it. So what you're going to need money for is the Master Penthouse and all the upgrades, which is going to be a lot. Every single new vehicle, which I'm sure you guys are going to be interested in. New clothing, as I'm sure we're going to see, and potentially new weapons. So basically like 4 or 5 big things you need to save your money up for. Now, how much money I think you're going to need in total, I could see this being a very expensive update. Around 50, 60, 70 million dollars. I know that sounds crazy, but you could spend $10 million on the penthouse, and on day one, you could spend $15 million on vehicles. That's $25 million right there, and we know Rockstar is going to have an insane amount of drip feeding. And sort of speaking of that, that's actually good news. Because so much of this content is probably going to be drip fed, likely the vehicles, we know that you won't have to have all of that money on day one. So you will have a chance to participate in the casino games and the business in order to make more money week by week as vehicles are released. And speaking of drip feed, there's probably going to be a couple of other things released as well, like adversary modes and potential game modes and whatnot, but those will all be free to participate in, so isn't really something we include in this video today. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. How much money do you think you are going to need for the casino update now that we've gotten all the information we know so far from Rockstar? Do you think it's going to be 40, 50, 60 million? Do you think it will be less than that? Let me know your thoughts, opinions more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And remember to subscribe if you guys are new or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA 5 casino news and videos. We're going to be having so much fun on Tuesday. So if you want to check out all the cool videos we'll do then, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.